The news shook the Madrid morning. Xabi Alonso, recently appointed to the Whites bench, decided to drop one of the squad's most expensive defenders. In less than half an hour, radio stations across Europe interrupted their programming to comment on the bombshell and try to find out what led the new boss to take such a drastic measure. Hashtags about the cut exploded on X, with fans debating whether it was sporting justice or an act of administrative coldness. Reports from the locker room speak of absolute silence when the name was announced. A silence only broken by the metallic sound of the locker door that was left without an owner. Insiders say the board immediately embraced the decision, calling it pure meritocracy and symbolizing the new order in Valdebebas. In fan WhatsApp groups, a screenshot of the defender's gross annual salary was circulated as justification for the cut. The press soon discovered that the athlete in question was David Alaba, once again sidelined by injuries and earning one of the highest salaries in the squad. Brazil newspaper Tribuna.com. The timing was calculated. The preseason tour to the United States begins in 2 weeks, and Alonso wants to take only those who can last 90 minutes. ESPN.com. Among insiders, there is a growing conviction that Alaba's departure is the inaugural act of a series of surgical cuts that the coach will make until August 31st. The fans, divided, await answers. Is this the end of an era or the beginning of the unstoppable force Real Madrid promised by the new manager? Hey, Madrid fan, have you secured your like? It'll push our video to the timelines of those most passionate about the immaculate white of the Bernabeu. Make sure the bell is activated, because with each Alonso training session, we'll reveal some hot news that will unravel here. Our chat today is about the trajectory, numbers, and behind the scenes of the most controversial decision since the coach took over less than 2 months ago. Real Madrid. Let's review Alaba's chronology, from his peak as a pillar of the 14th to his becoming a constant presence in the infirmary. As newspaper, we'll also look at the financial impact of keeping him on the roster versus freeing up space for promising talent like Marvel. Tribuna.com. This channel isn't a monologue. Your opinion shapes future scripts. Which duo, or trio, would you field in the 25-26 defense? Write in the comments now, because we read everything and highlight guesses in the next videos. Share the link in the soccer group and invite that friend who still thinks that payroll doesn't decide the championship. Stay until the end, because beyond the controversy, there are behind-the-scenes numbers that no tabloid has published. And remember, here, passion speaks loudly, but information comes first. The perfect combination for those who live football 24/7. Let's go back to May 25, 2025. The Bernabeu was packed to welcome Xabi Alonso, contract until June 2028, to a standing ovation and echoes of Xabi Xabi. Reuters. At the presentation, the coach declared that he would make Real an unstoppable force, a statement that made headlines from Madrid to Manila. ESPN.com. In the first week, GPS equipment was distributed, and body fat indexes were projected on a screen for the entire cast. The new internal code established British punctuality, fat below 10%, and physical availability for 90 minutes at champion's pace. It was in this filter that David Alaba's name appeared in red. High risk of relapse and delayed strengthening schedule. As newspaper at the same time, Rudiger and Militão dominated tactical training, while academy graduate Marvel impressed in the under-23s. Alonso realized that the previous hierarchy no longer made sense. Whoever was healthy would play, regardless of status. Data analysis showed that Alaba played in just 14 games last season, missing 47% of those matches through injury. As newspaper. In terms of payroll, he cost €12.5 million net per year, the third highest salary in the dressing room. Tribuna.com. The equation between high cost and low availability became unsustainable, setting the stage for the bombshell to come. The final decision came in a lightning meeting between Alonso, the medical director, and Florentino Perez. The clinical report detailed injuries to the cruciate ligament, meniscus, soleus, and adductors, creating a less than encouraging history for the upcoming season. As newspaper, Alonso was direct. He needed soldiers ready for battle, and not generals in the infirmary, a phrase that leaked a few hours later. Weeks earlier, Saudi Pro League clubs had approached Alaba's staff, offering a 2-year contract and a tax-free salary. The defender is hesitant because he dreams of playing in the 2026 World Cup with Austria and fears losing rhythm in less competitive leagues. Florentino, however, wants to resolve everything before the North American tour. Each week costs the club almost €500,000. Tribuna.com. If no proposal appears, Alaba will be able to train, but separately from the main group, focusing only on conditioning. Rudiger, Militao and Marvel are already testing tactical variations that do not include the Austrian, signaling an irreversible change in the defensive hierarchy. The coaching staff is also considering promoting Rafa Marin or seeking low-cost reinforcements if the departure becomes a reality. Inside the locker room, veterans like Modric advise their teammates, take a pay cut or accept a new challenge because there will be plenty of room for those who are fit. Helicopter footage captured a closed training session with a line of 3 formed by Rudiger, Militao, and Marvel, while Alaba ran alone on the athletics track. A spreadsheet revealed to the board shows that keeping the defender until 2026 will cost around €22.5 million gross, a sum that could cover 3 renewals for young talents. Tribuna.com, a poll by the newspaper AS indicates that 68% of partners support immediate departure, while 22% prefer salary renegotiation. TV shows like El Chiringuito branded Alonso ruthless, sparking heated debates during prime time. Fernando Hierro, former captain and Blanco legend, praised the coach's courage, saying that staying competitive requires unpopular decisions. On social media, a video of Alaba leaving the training center without giving interviews has already surpassed 4 million views and is dividing opinions. Saudi interest promises a formal offer in the coming days, but rumors suggest MLS is also looking into it. Alonso has set August 15th as the deadline. By then, he either leaves, accepts a drastic reduction, or trains separately. The potential sale opens up space not only on the payroll, but also on the Champions League list, which now includes reinforcements like Arda Güler in the advanced defense. More nostalgic fans lament, Alaba was a key player in winning the Undécima Quarta, but football doesn't live in the past. Cutting expensive veterans is nothing new at Chamartin. Bale in 2020 and Hazard in 2023 followed a similar path. Alonso's philosophy is similar to Zidane's in 2016. A starting spot is earned on the field, not on the payroll. UEFA statistics show that Champions League winners usually have at least 85% of their squad available during the season. Real 24-25 had just 71%. From an accounting standpoint, releasing Alaba saves €22.5 million gross over 12 months, an amount that covers a reserve fullback, renews a veteran, and still has some left over for bonuses. Tribuna.com. In terms of sport, Alonso plans a chameleon defense, a line of 3 for high pressure, and a line of 4 with Fran Garcia on the left when he needs width. For Alaba, the decision weighs on his dream of leading Austria to the 2026 World Cup. He needs minutes, not a bath. At the same time, the episode is an example of the post-Super League mentality. Corporate clubs, asset management, and zero tolerance for contracts that don't pay off. The structural reform also targets other veterans. Contracts will be reviewed based on minutes and physical index. Analysts predict that, if successful, the Alonso model could inspire Spanish rivals to adopt similar criteria in the next window. And if it goes wrong, the pressure will be doubled, because nothing burns faster in Madrid than promises of revolution without titles on the shelf. We have reached the critical point. Is Alonso being fair or ruthless? Would you keep Alaba until 2026, trusting in a recovery, or would you sell now to make room on the payroll and in the team? Which defenders should form the new Whites' defensive wall in the 2025-2026 season? Can Rudiger and Militao handle it, or is it time for Marvel to take over? Leave your opinion. It moves the algorithm and enriches the debate among Madrid fans around the world. Take advantage and give that like. Each like is a sweet pass for more fans to reach the channel. Share the video in the family WhatsApp group and on forums where the debate rages late into the night. If you haven't signed up yet, do it now. Because this is just the first act of the Xabi Alonso era. We promise daily coverage of the preseason in the US, the market, behind the scenes, and of course that emotional commentary from the stands. Turn on the bell so you don't miss the Champions List announcement, which should have more surprising cuts. Hala Madrid, why nada más? We'll see you in.